generated 3 sales opportunities. So this guy said, Saad, can you clarify what your focus is? Are you a provider of more of a connector between firms and financing sources? If it's the latter, I'd definitely be open to a quick chat, maybe Thursday afternoon. You know when someone is making a lot of money is when their name is William G. Friels 3. So it just goes to show you guys that I did not use any case studies. We're going to talk about it later on. So for this guy, I would build them a system that finds companies whose owners want to sell. Today, you'll learn the definitive way to get high-ticket sales systems customers in the investment firm's niche. The reason why is because this niche is one of those niches where there are people who manage billions but still not work like it's 1995. And from my experience, plus a bunch of people who've made tons of money in this niche, they have crazy budgets and they don't really flinch at like 8 to 10K. So what I'm going to do is show you how you can generate sales opportunities within this niche from start to finish, all the way to getting them eager to work with you. I'll start by telling you why this niche is good, what you're going to sell them, and how much to charge. And the goal is to give you guys so much value, basically value overload, from someone who actually cracked this niche so you can get up and running yourself and start printing money. So this video is going to act as the complete roadmap for you so you can actually dominate this niche. So let's build. So first of all, let's talk about the why. Saad, why this niche, right? So first, they have money, right? That's like the most important thing. They have money because investment advisors that work within investment firms, they make around like 100K to 500K per year minimum. So they're not really broke, which is exactly what we want. So they can afford a 5K to all the way 15K system that brings them clients that are worth 10 to 100K. Okay. The second thing, they need clients, right? Obviously, that's like the universal pain that every niche has, right? But they experience that pain more than 80% of the other niches. So their entire business is assets under management. Okay. So let me explain. Assets under management. What does that mean? Let me explain it in very, very simple terms. So investment firms, they manage other people's money. Okay. For example, high net worth individuals, family offices, basically people who have a shit ton of money. So they essentially just get them to invest in good businesses. They manage their money properly, etc. So those wealthy individuals make more money and essentially just have like a good long-term financial strategy. Okay. So that's in their entire job. So when it comes to these investment advisors that work within these investment niche, no clients means no assets under management, which means no income, right? So getting high net worth clients is their number one problem. Okay. Third thing is they're bad at marketing. They're good at investing. They're good at evaluating opportunities. Their entire job is they evaluate opportunities. Okay. They look at a business, they look at your portfolio and they're like, okay, here's what you should do. Here's how I would manage your portfolio. That's their entire job, by the way. But they are terrible at sales systems. They rely on referrals in my experience, networking events, cold calling badly. So that means they need you. Okay. Fourth, it's not saturated because since you are watching this, you already know like everyone goes for like e-commerce, agencies, coaches. Almost nobody's serving the investment firm's niche properly. Well, they don't even go for it in the first place. So it's kind of like blue ocean. Fifth is once you get one client within this niche, you understand the niche, then you can replicate 10 investment advisors that you can essentially just get them to work with you at, for example, 10K each. That's 100K. So that's the entire model. Okay, so that's the why. Now, let's talk about your edge in this niche, because when you like tackle a niche or you want to work within a niche, is that you want to understand like what kind of your edge there. Well, your edge here that you are watching this is you understand sales systems, right? They don't, right? So there's like a knowledge gap. You understand AI and outreach. They're stuck at like 1995, right? And you can build it once and replicate it, which again creates the possibility of scale. So when you combine the knowledge gap, which is they don't understand sales systems, you understand AI, which means like they're still boomers, right? Or like they don't necessarily understand how, like what we do, right? How we can automate lead gen and sell, like and build these sales systems that allow the possibility of getting them more customers. Well, and now we're creating like this form of like Lollapalooza effect, which means multiple forces working, all of them directly in one direction, which creates the possibility of what? Scale. Okay, so this is like how you can merge it's kind of like a magician creating this alchemical potion, which is the knowledge gap, the age gap, and also the ability to replicate the process, which creates this magical potion that allows the possibility of what? Again, scale. Okay, so this is strategic thinking, operator level, and this is why I'm showing you guys this, so you can think like an operator and make a shit ton of money, right? Now, Saad, why they have money? Because you got to understand why they have money, so you kind of like just understand your buyer psychology. Because whenever you start a new niche, you want to understand like how do they make money, right? So like I said, they manage millions in assets and they collect a fee. So 1% of a fee, for example, which means like a huge income for them. For example, there's like an advisor managing like $10 million in assets under management, and they make $100K a year in fees, which is 1%. By the way, this is just one portfolio. So they could be managing 3, 4, so that's like 400K, right? So if you bring them one client with $1 million to invest, that's like 10K a year recurrent for them. So they'll pay you 5 to 10K one time happily, because it's like a 1 to 2 year ROI, which is return on investment for them, which is going to be an easy decision, right? Now, there's something called the pain pyramid, right? So every niche has like a bunch of pains, right? So you want to go for like the deepest, right? So level 1 pain, which is the service level pain, like an investment advisor would wake up and like, I need more clients. That's level 1. Now, level 2 is deeper, a little bit deeper. So I need high value clients, not 50K accounts, but $500K to $5 million accounts. Now, there's the level 3, which what we want, and this is exactly what I'm going to show you how to do, because I'm going to do it live in front of you, right? So like, it's very cool to do it live. I love doing these live builds for you guys, so you can just give you so much value. But the level 3 is the deepest. The deepest pain is they need a system that brings them clients consistently. So consistently, predictably, every single time. So it's not just random luck, right? So you're solving level 3, which is the deepest pain, and that's why they will pay premium. Okay, now let's talk about the psychology of your buyer. You gotta understand like what they're like. Okay, so 1, they are smart, obviously, they are educated. Like usually they have like an MBA or like a finance degree, finance or like finance, right? I believe it's finance. And they are bad at marketing, so they never learned it, okay? So you want to use this mental model. It's called being like a bee. What does that mean? Well, what's the bee's entire essence? That bees go where the honey is. You want to be like a bee, so you want to go where the money is. So be like a bee, go where the money is, right? So what we can extract from this model is that people avoid finance because it seems complicated. Well, it's not. It seems regulated. Yes, it is, but it doesn't affect you, right? Because you're just building a system that connects 2 parties together. And it seems hard to reach, which is wrong. They're on LinkedIn, and it's fear-based avoidance, which is like this human tendency, right? If people are like fear that niche, that creates what? An opportunity for you. Okay. Now the reality is, because let's talk reality, is that there are plus 330K financial advisors in the US alone. Okay. Because I've done my research when I was like trying to crack this niche, and they are only growing. There's wealth transfer happening. There's boomers that become millennials, right? And they all need clients, which is an universal pain. And very few people serving them, which is blue ocean, like I said, which creates what? Again, a massive opportunity. Okay, now let's talk about the market size math, because we are operators, is because you are watching this, you are an operator. Now, if we have 330K advisor in the US alone, and 1% of them just want your service, that's like 3,300 potential clients. At 10K each, that's $33 million in terms of the total addressable market, which is the TAM. This is what they call, like nerds call TAM, right? If you get 0.1%, which is 10 clients at 10K, that's 100K. You don't need that many big wins, right? You only need a couple clients. That's why I always say get into that 25K a month. Contrary to popular belief, you don't need so many clients. You just need a couple, right? That's it, right? So that's the kind of like the market size math. Now, let's talk about what to sell, okay? So the core offer is going to be a high ticket sales system, not marketing, obviously, because, and I'm going to show you like how it's going to be like in the copy, how we're going to build a system, etc., right? Like kind of like the step by step. So we're going to frame it as a system. We'll build you a sales acquisition system, or like a sales system, not we do your marketing, because there's a big difference between a marketing agency, a lead gen agency, and a sales agency. Very big difference, right? And we're going to emphasize on systems, repeatable, predictable, because they like it, right? We got to understand they like when you talk about repeatable and predictable, because they're more about long term. And you never should mention like marketing, because it's vague, right? Vague and artsy, and they don't like artsy things. They're more like nerdy people that talk about money like all day, kind of like this Wolf of Wall Street guys, right? That's actually a scene from Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, really good movie. Now, charge how much, Saad? Well, charge how much is going to be offer a hybrid offer. This is the one that worked to me, not a one-off. So 8 to 10K setup, which is going to be a one-time, and then you're going to offer like a retainer 2 to 4 a month in like management ongoing. It's going to be basically like tweaking the system, etc., and basically being with them, right? It's going to be best for both because they own it and you just optimize it, and it's going to be best for most scenarios. Okay, even if you're just getting started, by the way, offer a hybrid. It doesn't really matter whether you're making 5K a month, 10K a month, doesn't matter. So even if you've never sold in this niche or like sold a sales system within this niche, or even if you've never sold a sales system before, offer 8K, don't offer less. And I'm going to explain to you why. So why too high, Saad? Why not 2K or less? Because they don't respect it. This is very weird, peculiar, and paradoxical because these people think that cheap is now valuable. So if you pitch like 2K, they're going to be like, you're not it. You're just not it, right? So always pitch high. Okay, especially when these niches like biotech, like they have money, right? So if you pitch less, they're gonna be like, okay, you're just a commodity. You like how, like they understand the value, right? So like I said, you want to charge high, and you don't want to attract tire kickers, right? Not serious clients. Like don't deal with broke clients. You don't have to, right? Just deal with people who have money, right? So I don't want you guys to be in a race in the bottom, right? So let's talk about how to talk to them. I'm probably going to have to talk about this at the end of this video, right? Once I generate some sales opportunities, and now that I'm thinking about it, I'm probably going to have to add like the sales conversation, how it's going to be maybe in another video, I don't know. But yeah, I'll see how it goes, right? So first of all is we want to build a system that's going to allow us to reach them at scale. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Epify and I'm going to show you how we can extract their contact details, and we're going to build a system that's going to enrich, basically validates their contact details, validates their emails, and also we're going to get the system to generate high quality copies that work specifically for them using a winning sales campaign that I ran 2 weeks ago. So that's like the best way to kind of like just do this. So give you guys kind of like the source, right? That's like the pure source, because I don't like when people just like talk in theory, like just go do it and then talk about it, right? Show us the wins, show us how much you've made and all this stuff. And then we can talk about other things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to make.com and I'm going to build the system in front of you right now. Okay. So I'm going to go and create a new scenario. Let me check if I'm recording. Okay. I am recording. I have to fix my position here. Okay, so I'm gonna go to console here, and we want to scrape Apollo. So Apollo is like a lead sourcing database, and a lot of people say that Apollo scraping is dead, but we're gonna scrape Apollo again. Once again, this is like the 10th time in this channel. So I'm simply gonna put Apollo here, right? And it's gonna be this scraper right here. Leads crafter, leads finder. Okay, so this is the guy, code pioneer. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to build a list. So numbers of leads to fetch, just 700. That's all that you need, not that many. Okay, we're going to name this investment firms demo, right? So you don't need that many leads. Like I said, you don't need that many. So I have like past searches here. So what you want to put is investment director, portfolio manager, managing director. In fact, let me just pull my documents, multi-channel. Yeah, there's also like a LinkedIn strategy here. Maybe I can like record a video about it, how to head them both in like your outreach message, whether it's LinkedIn, whatever the channel is. But yeah, these are the decision makers. I'm going to leave you the document, obviously, so you don't have to worry about it. I'm going to add a couple of things here. So VP investments, all you got to do, you want to come here, add VP investments. Yeah, principals, hedge funds. Yeah, this is good. So you simply just want to plug them here. And I believe that's pretty much it. What can we add? Principal assets management. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so you want to go to location. Obviously, it's going to be United States. I'm going to stick United States. You can also add Switzerland. By the way, Dubai, they have a shit ton of money. There's multiple investment firms there, but let's just keep it United States. Email status, you want to always keep it as validated. Okay, even though they say validated, we're going to have to double verify. We're going to build a system that's going to verify for us automatically. Company sizes, I'm going to keep it 11 to 20, 21 to 50, and 100 to 200. And I'm also going to add, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. In terms of the industry, you want to put investment management, investment banking, and financial service. Let me do it again. So financial services, investment management, and investment banking. So this is how we do it, right? Remove IT. Okay, keywords, just keep it empty. Revenue, always $1 million a year. This is going to be like a standard. Whenever you go for any niche, at least $1 million. They have to be making at least $1 million. Do not deal with broke agencies. Funding, I don't really care about it. And run options, I'm going to keep it that way. And I'm going to click on save and start. And that's pretty much it, right? So as you can see, we will scrape Apollo again, proving it. So you want to go to log, you will notice that there we go. If you're wondering how this works, is basically they have like an MCP or like an AI agent that goes to Apollo, extract the data and brings it back to you. That's what I'm guessing. So found 100 leads already in 21 seconds. There we go. We get the emails, American Money Management. Okay, there we go. Providing professional stewardship and creative to help you achieve your investment goals. Like I said, retired. Oh, there we go. Retired or nearing retirement, financial transition, the busy professional. So their ideal clients are probably going to be some high net worth individual, maybe like family offices, etc. So that's kind of like what we do. And if you noticed here, like whenever there's like this simplistic logo and like a very simple landing page, you know they're making a shit ton of money. Yeah, I can tell. So 600 already done. So 1 minute. And it took me $1. So anyone who tells you cannot scrape contacts or Apollo, just please run to the hells, guys. Like you need to learn how to read between the lines. Everyone who says that just want to create FOMO and scare you, which I think it's very bad, right? I don't like this, right? Like let people make money. Come on. Anyways, so yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have to go to Mig.com. I'm going to walk you through. And I'm going to walk you through building the system. So all you got to do is you want to go to Epify. You want to go to Get Dataset Items. You want to click on this Add button. And you want to go to Settings. It's going to be very, very simple. Even if you've never touched Mig.com or like did any of that, you will be able to follow along just beautifully. Because everything is going to be no code, right? Everything is just in terms of like actually making money. Because like this is something that like when I first got started, like I would watch make tutorials NA10. And like I went through the entire university of like Mig.com, and I'm like, this is all nerdy theory. Like I want to make money out of this. Like teach me how to make money. So I understand. Anyways, so I'm gonna go to limits. I'm gonna put 1. So I actually did a lot of things very quickly. So let me just go back. So all you gotta do, you want to go to run. You want to go to data sets. Copy it. This is where the data is, aka where their leads are that you just extracted from the scraper or the tool, which is basically the scraper, the tool that extracts the data. So you want to paste it in the data sets here, and you want to keep format JSON, and limit's going to be 1. Okay. You want to save, and then let's just name this investment firms contact. So all you got to do is just click on run once. And done, you're good. So you get all this. You get the email, Neck Cornerstone IP. So Chief Investment Offices, we get everything. So Cornerstone Investment Partners LLC is an employee-owned investment manager. The firm primarily provides its services to pension and profit sharing plans to high net worth individuals, just like I told you, right? So where do we go from here? Well, we need to validate their contact details, because when you extract the data, even like you noticed here, we put in the output valid email status equals valid. Well, you do not need to trust this because their way of validating emails is not 100% accurate. So what you want to do is just use like an email enrichment platform. You can use any email enrichment platform. It could be an email finder. It could be Mail Tester Ninja, Prospeo, etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through how to verify the emails using a very, very simple platform called Find Email, findemail.com. Okay, so you can basically just like an email enrichment platform, kind of like an email finder, etc. So you just plug in the email and then they check if it's valid. So you want to sign up. I already have an account, I believe, here. It's an old account because I rarely use this because now I have like my own platform. So I'm going to go to API. And yeah, I want to have to create a new one. So investment, just gonna call it an investment, and I'm gonna get my API key. So all I gotta do is like close these tabs first, and then I'm gonna go to find email, verifying email, paste it here and save. And I'm gonna have to put the email here. I'm gonna check if the email is valid. So true, verified, true. Okay, so it's valid. So that's how you use find email. Now in my case, I'm just going to use my own platform, which is going to be SSM Masters, so I can get up and running, right? But in your case, you can just use find email. It works great, okay? So all I got to do is I'm going to make an HTTP request to my to this URL. And I'm simply just going to copy one of the modules that I already have. Highly recommend you guys always clone your systems. For example, when you build like a system, always clone it, and so you can just like get up and run it as quickly as possible. So this is the one that I'm going to be using, yes. So I believe I built this. Yeah, I built this like a couple days ago. I'm going to copy this. And I'm simply going to delete this and just plug this here. On online. So all I got to do is add the email. So I believe it's already there. Now let me check. Tools. Oh yeah, I gotta allow storing of incomplete executions and save. Okay, sweet. So all I gotta do right now is just put myself in here so I can show you kind of like the next step, right? And then all I gotta do is I'm gonna add an Azure OpenAI. And I'm going to show you guys the prompts that we're going to be using. So I'm going to go to GPT-4o, and then I'm going to go to add message, user, content, and it's going to be text, okay? So I'm going to close these, and I'm going to show you guys the prompt that we're going to be using. So check this out. I'm going to use this prompt, this entire prompt. I'm going to paste it here. That's all you got to do. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add revenue, which is going to be the revenue here. So first of all, let me read the prompt. So you must return exactly this format. Notice clean company name helps job titles at company type. I know a few with plain description. So we're kind of like just using this anti-fragile method, which is like a method that I came up with that allows you to get AI to generate high quality outreach messages. So I'm simply going to add the revenue range, the description of the company, which is going to be the company description here. The company size is going to be the company size, which is, we already have it. So size. There we go. And then I'm going to add the industry, which is the industry that we have, investment management. And the company name, which is, like I said, company name, which is company name. Now check this out. I'm going to add like a filter here. So condition only if request status equals valid. So email verified equals to valid. Now let's check this out. Now, obviously, the first email is valid. We know this. I'll check this out. Notice Corner Store helps pension managers and CFOs at charitable organizations. I know a few who waste hours trying to figure out how to preserve assets during market downturns. That's a really good copy. That's what I mean by really, really good outreach message is going to resonate within this niche. So it's going to be 101 copy. Dream outreach. Okay, what comes after this? Well, we're simply just going to plug this into an Instantly campaign, and then we're going to launch it. That's like the favorite part, right? So I'm going to close all these tabs so you guys don't get overwhelmed. And I'm going to go to Instantly. Okay, great. So everything looks good to me right now. The email is valid. This is a platform that I built, by the way, for people in my community, because I didn't want them to pay for Find Email and like similar. Because if you go here and trying to compare the prices, right, if you go to pricing, man, like just $49 or 1,000. So I was like, let me just lower the cost for members and just build my own and just give them unlimited tokens, right? Instead of paying $49 for 1,000. That's very little, right? Let's just be real. So I'm going to go to instantly, like I said, I'm going to create a new campaign and I'm going to walk you through how to do it. So it's going to be investment firms. And then all I got to do is add it here. So instantly create a lead. Actually, before I do this, I need to add this to like a dream copy. So I'm going to add set variable. I'm going to name this finalized 101 copy. And I'm going to say, hey, what's the first name of this guy? Hey. And I'm going to add noticed. I'm going to say worth introing you. I'm going to save and then let's check this out again. Done. So, hey, Rick, noticed Cornerstone helps CFOs and pension funds manage trust in charitable organizations. I know a few who lose money when they pick the wrong asset manager and have to recover from bad portfolios. Worth introing you. That's what I mean by a really good one. A really good outreach copy. So I'm going to add instantly now. So create a lead. And all I got to do is just let's make fetch the salesman campaign here. So this is going to be investment firms. Email is going to be the email. Finalized copy. The websites, I'm going to add websites, company domain. Make sure to add HTTP. And then last name is going to be the last name of the person. First name. And company name is company name. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this all the way to like 700. So let's check the leads that we got here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say intro for first name. And I'm going to add personalization here. I'm going to save and let me check my leads. I'm adding everything. Great. So I'm going to add step and I'm going to say, hey, first name. Worth an intro. That's it. Literally, that's it. Sent from my iPhone. Like very straightforward, right? And then I'm going to add more, like one last one. Hey, first name. If this sounds interesting, let me know. Otherwise, wishing you the best. Sad. Sent from my iPhone. For them, like abundance mindsets, right? Like they have money, like they already know this, so we're not trying to like convince people to buy from us, right? It's just like abundance just makes you more money, right? Okay, so I had to stop the workflow because we forgot one thing. We forgot to add condition. Email exists. That's fine. We're going to have to rerun the entire thing. That's fine. Because there are a couple records, let me show you, in Epify where there wasn't no email there. So we're just going to add like a filter there. Like a filter, which is going to be, there we go. So if you noticed, if you go to runs, some of the records, we don't have like null. See? So now we can just run once again, and that's fine. We can just run the entire thing. So all I got to do now is just wait. I believe I have to schedule this. So I'm just going to go to schedule. I'm going to do Monday to Saturday, and then it's going to be from 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Yes. And that's now, and there's going to be options. I'm going to use a couple accounts. This one, this one, this one. There's two inactive, so let me just remove them. Done. So I believe I can send a pretty good amount. Yeah. Okay. Show advanced. Yes, I'm gonna have to do Google. No. Google send to Google. And then I'm gonna add people who say you can't send to Google, Microsoft, again, just run to the hills. They don't know what they're talking about. And we're gonna prove it, right? Google send to all. Yes, that's pretty much it. Save. When in metric, reply rate, save and launch. Done. All right, so looks like everything is good. I'm gonna add send from my iPhone. And that's pretty much it. So right now, all I gotta do is just wait. And we're gonna wait for opportunities to come for us, right? And I'm gonna get back to you guys once we generate a couple sales opportunities. All right, so this is 24 hours later. We generated 3 sales opportunities. This is the initial email that I sent, which is, "Hey Mark, noticed ACP helps CFOs and CEOs at power infrastructure companies. I know a few who waste months trying to secure project finance and when banks won't touch their deals. Worth interviewing you. Best Saad," sent from my iPhone. So this guy said, "Saad, can you clarify what your focus is? Are you a provider of more of a connector between firms and financing sources? If it's the latter, I'd definitely be open to a quick chat, maybe Thursday afternoon. So maybe today, because, actually today is Wednesday. So tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first show you guys how I would reply by going simply to a Google Doc. Obviously, I'm going to use my favorite font. You guys already know, Geese. Fun fact, it increases your closing rate by 50%. Okay, so what I would say to this guy, let me just copy this, put it here, and then gonna remove this, get none, and there we go. So this guy said, "Saad, can you clarify what your focus is?" So what I would say is Mark, I am the connector. I run a sales agency that connects companies to their ideal clients. In your case, I'd be introducing ACP to power/infra because in the initial outreach message that the AI generated was infrastructure and power, right? That need the exact financing solutions you guys provide. So I kept it vague. Okay, finance and solutions, right? And then you guys noticed here, just like a quick short intro. I am the connector, just kind of clarify what he is asking for. And then I would say, I'm not a financing source myself. Just really good at identifying companies that met your ICP and getting them interested in talking. Think of it like targeted business development, but more automated. Since I have the tech/the stack for it, that's something that I always say. You guys can also just copy and paste. And I would also say, does Thursday or maybe Friday? So I would suggest a time right away. I would say Thursday afternoon works. How's 3 p.m. EST? We can do a quick 15-20 minute call so I can understand exactly what you want to map out a system for you. Best Saad, right? So this is like how I would reply, right? So let's check out their website, acpm.com. So ACP Capital Markets. It's a fancy website. Okay, so we are an independent employee-owned and financial advisory firm offering expert finance across multiple globally. We help our clients, our firms, teams, advisors. So our services, capital markets, M&A. So they said ACP to power/infrastructure companies. Okay, so for this guy, Mark, I would build them like a system that would connect them with their ICP. My tech stack is going to be very, very simple, no code. So it's going to use Apollo, which is like a lead sourcing database, by the way. And it's going to pull every power company and also infrastructure firm, then LinkedIn Sales Nav to cross-reference and find the decision makers. Saad, what do you mean by cross-reference? Well, the system is going to search for new companies every single day from Apollo, like I said, and it's going to look for keywords like power plants, energy companies, and saves them into a list. Then Make.com is going to take that list and puts that into a LinkedIn Sales Nav, and then it's going to find the boss of each company. It gets their emails and it gets their phone number. Okay, so Make.com is going to automate everything, obviously, and the system is going to monitor also industry databases, watches for new projects, announcements, tracks SEC filings. When a power company hits like certain triggers, it will automatically add them to like an outreach sequence, for example, and instantly. Okay, for example, when a company says we're building like a new power plant, so like we need more money, then the system is gonna like add them to like an instantly sell some campaign. So it's gonna like run 24/7, and it's gonna be scanning like the entire power infrastructure sector, finding opportunities right the second they become relevant. Okay, so that's what I would do. Let's check out the next reply from this guy right here. John. So, hey, John, notice McDonald Partners helps CFOs and executives at regional firms, financial firms. I know if you lose money when their brokers make bad calls. So this guy, yeah, that sounds interesting. Happy to chat more. Got time Thursday afternoon, Friday morning. So again, they are very, very interested, like literally eager to work, right? Let's check out their website. So for this guy, by the way, how to apply? I would just ask 1 to 2 qualifying questions, and then I would just suggest a time. So our philosophy is simple. We're committed to you, our clients. Wealth management groups, Mansour. So they have multiple locations. So as you guys can see, we generate these sales opportunities within 24 hours. I can let the sales campaign run for like an additional day, and I'll get probably double, maybe triple. So it just gets to show you, oh, they are in Broker Check. You guys don't know. Broker Check is like an industry database. Oh, okay. Oh, so they are within this. Interesting. This is like an industry database. You want to like find investment firms, right? I've probably showed this before in this channel. Yeah, I did for like a first client award. I believe like a member closed like an 11K deal within this niche, and I used this, right? So yeah, like this is very, very good. Like I would also use the same thing. I would also use some industry databases too, some hidden ones to kind of like just build a system that would pull all their ICP, which is going to be CFOs, executives at regional financial firms. I'm also going to use actually Broker Check for this, right? I'm going to use it, but they sort of don't know how like enrich, add more contacts, right? They don't know. So yeah, that's what I would do, right? So let me just go to the last one, intro for William. You know when someone is making a lot of money is when their name is William G. Friels 3. Right. So, Saad, we are happy to talk to any CEO or CFO of a private company exploring an exit or execution plan. Just curious, are you acting as a connector, introducing potential buyers, or do you advise through the process yourself? As a connector, okay. Either way, really good message. It actually intrigued me. How soon is Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon next week for a quick chat? So this guy said, he's probably like a wealthy individual. He said, either way, really good message. So either way, whether you are a connector or you just want to talk, right? So it just goes to show you guys that I did not use any case studies. We're going to talk about it later on, but I did not use any case studies. My process is very scrappy, so you can do the same, right? Nothing is stopping you from doing the same. And I know for a fact that these people will 100% pay for like 8 to 10K systems, right? So if you're wondering what I would do for this person, like what system would I build, let me just check out their website first. Okay, over 1.4 billion closing transactions overall. Well, what do you guys think? 1.4 billion in closed transactions. So that means look at this logo. Celebrating 14 years of excellence from 2011. So I believe I said, notice Andra helps CFOs and middle market companies. I know if you can't find buyers when they're ready to exit, spend months talking to firms who don't get their industry. So like it really hits him, right? So that's why he said this. William 3. Okay, so I believe I said wealthy individuals, right? CFOs and CEOs. Okay, so I would use pain signals for this guy. And let me explain. So for this guy, I would build them a system that finds companies whose owners want to sell. So the system watches job boards like Indeed and LinkedIn for pain signals. So for example, when a CEO posts about retirement planning or like succession strategy, now the system sees that and adds that to like a list. It watches for executive leaving companies. When like a CFO quits or like a VP of sales leaves suddenly, then the owner might want to sell before more problems actually happen. So the system is going to scan for companies posting jobs like business valuation specialist or like exit planning consultant. Those are clear signals that they want to sell. It also watches for layoffs and hiring freezes, because when companies cut workers or stop hiring, the owner usually wants help or wants to sell to someone who can fix it. So Make.com is going to connect all the job data to Apollo and LinkedIn. So when the system finds again a pain signal, it automatically looks up the owner gets your contact info and adds them to like an outreach sequence. And then AI is gonna personalize something like, hey, saw you hired an exit planning, you're hiring an exit planning consultant, noticed you changed your leadership team, right? So it knows exactly why they want to sell. So that's what I would do. And in terms of like finding the right decision makers, I would probably enrich or try to find the contact details using Apollo or people's data labs. Okay, so that's what I would do. Now let's talk about like how to reply. So for this guy, I would use the same thing like this. And yeah, I'll just get up and running. Okay, so as you guys notice, there is, let me go to my draw here. And I'm first gonna talk about the sales call that I have here. How to talk to them and make money. So as you guys noticed, we did not use any case studies. We did not use any crazy guarantees like these people, I'll guarantee you 100K in the next 5 minutes, right? It's just a simple system. I can build you a system that connects to your ICP. Very straightforward because that's what every company cares about, right? Especially investment firms. Now, how to talk to them and make money. So during like a sales conversation, right? Never mention the price first. Understand their situation, which is going to be discovery. Present the value, what they get, show the ROI, return on investment, which is what's worth to them, then price, which is always anchor into value. Now, the frame is going to be, hey, if this system brings you even one client with 500K in assets under management, as 5K a year in fees for you, recurrent over 10 years, that's 50K in revenue from one client. So I'm charging you 10K one time to build you the system. If it brings you 2 to 3 clients in a year, and you're looking at 5 to 10x ROI in 12 months. Does that make sense? See how it anchors to the value, right? Like just pure math, right? It's very simple. Now they will say yes because the math works, because it's an obvious ROI. Like I said, their entire job is evaluating opportunities. When they see an opportunity, they strike fast. And it's also a one-time, not ongoing drain. And because they have money, okay? When I say it's one time, I mean, like you're going to charge them like 10K and then some sort of maintenance, 3K every month. And since, like I said, they have the money, which is affordable for them, and it's an easy decision. So the step-by-step TLDR, this is like the whole model for you. Get one investment advisor client first, deliver amazing results, over-deliver, then ask for intros, right? That's like a hack, right? Ask for intros. They know other advisors, right? So you want to like, when you deliver good results, you want to say, hey X, or like a client name, I'm glad this system is working for you. Quick ask, do you know 2 to 3 advisors who might benefit from something similar? Happy to extend the preferred rates for anyone you refer. For example, I'd give them like a 20% discount, and that's how you can get more, right? This is something that I used to. So reason why I want to do this, like, investment advisors, they hang out together. They have like study groups, broker dealers, conferences, coffee shops. So they talk about what's working. So there's like the words that spreads, and now we have a good reputation. You kind of like just build your own little network, right? And then there's also like this trust transfers, because like I said, they rely on trust, right, within this industry. So if John trusts you, Mary will too, right? She probably will marry you too. But anyways, that's like the entire roadmap. So hopefully you guys found value in this one. I'm going to leave you everything that you need in the description, including the blueprint, the prompt, etc. And like I always say, get out there, take action. I believe in you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.